welcome back once again to the Imaginary Gallery. It's TJ, your host once again, and this is the third episode in the brand new series, Narcissistic Recovery. And I realize the current subject matter is not necessarily about a specific relationship, it's more of a global, worldwide viewpoint, which brings us to the next section. It's from Thomas Sheridan's wonderful book, Puzzling People, The Labyrinth of the Psychopath, Pseudo-Intellectual Psychopaths, and the Rational Straw Man. Pseudo-intellectualism coupled with totalitarianism is not science. It is fantastic bullying, and in the case of many of these debunker bloggers who invoke science during their straw man tactics, many times are intellectually posturing psychopaths, sometimes paid by private and public agencies to derail any opinion which is not good for business or government policy. We could talk about that at another time. In the New York Times magazine investigation in 2011, Jake Crosby uncovered that one site, Science Blogs, started up a nutrition blog called Food Frontiers, paid for by PepsiCo, without any disclaimer being issued. This caused a mass exodus of 20 bloggers from the website when the blog's corporate agenda was exposed. There was a time when genuine science bloggers once had credibility in the eyes of many. Now they are increasingly viewed as pseudo-intellectual prostitutes for the exclusive benefit of powerful corporations or their own personal egos at the expense of environmental and public well-being. Psychopaths trying to look clever and or making a quick buck for themselves in the name of rational science. Of course, in the same way, Stanley Milgram test subjects killed an innocent man with electrical shocks in order to prove their loyalty to the authority figure. The next question he asks is controversial. Is your God a psychopath? Does your God expect you to worship him and only him? Does your God punish you for questioning his motives, even when you don't mean to? Does your God seem to have more than a passing interest in encouraging sectarian tensions for his own benefit? Does your God have a history of rubber-stamping genocide? Does your God relegate women to second-class citizens? Does your God love you one minute, then punish you the next? Does your God claim that he alone represents your spiritual salvation? Does your God come with a strict rule book? Does your God enjoy owning large real estate in prime city center locations while having no source of income? Does your God suffer from multiple personality disorder? Does your God tell you one thing, then do another? Does your God like to be referred to as the Supreme Godhead, Lord, King of Heaven, the Almighty, Infallible, etc.? The purpose of this last question above is not designed to attack or mock any of the reader's personal religious viewpoints or beliefs. He, Sheridan, strongly considers that having a sincere personal spiritual outlook is very important in transcending the effect of the psychopathic exploitation of the self and society at large. He also wants to make the point that atheists are at an extreme disadvantage when going through a psychopath survivor recovery scenario. This is also why he believes that the radical atheism of recent years has been promoted for this very reason, to rob people of their relationship with their higher selves in order to make them more readily accepting of the psychopathic, transhumanist, and posthumanist scientific/corporate agenda of the elites. Destroying the human soul is good for business and makes government control much easier. Hence why the same people who tend to worship the likes of Richard Dawkins are also the most devoted to their deluded notion that the world is run by wonderful, altruistic people who love all of humanity and the environment and always do what's best for both of them. Personally, Sheridan considers this radical atheism a secular religion which generally attracts the same fanatical and intolerant personality types that any Islamic terrorist leader of today or Pope of the Middle Ages would be only too delighted to have in their respective camps. Psychopaths, for the most part, adore atheism, even though they are clerics, and use it to exploit people as much as religious charlatans do. Sheridan's pointing out how, with the psychopathic God list, that you may have been primed by the autocratic, authoritarian political structures of all organized religions, from Judeo-Christian Islamic tradition to Hinduism and Buddhism, all the rule book religions. God doesn't need middlemen other than to keep religion in business. Your God wants a personal relationship with you. A truly loving God is not a psychopath and will not impose judgment and rules upon you. The next section here is called Headlines, Spin, and Buzzwords. Sheridan says that he cannot stress enough how important etymology is in relation to this subject. Words have power to create and destroy, as well as enchant and inspire. As he stated at the beginning of his book, that is why he uses the term psychopath to name this pathology, as the word has a powerful negative connotation which softer terms such as narcissist fail to convey. You cannot soften or water down the negative and toxic imagery which the term psychopath stirs within your mind. The term narcissist can seem, in some contexts, as almost romantic, conjuring images of pre-Raphaelite paintings of self-obsessed dandies pondering their reflections in idyllic lily ponds. Hence is why he avoids the term, and psychopaths champion it. Words and their meanings have far deeper consequences upon our pathology than most of us realize. Deeper meanings are often hidden within a first glance. Boring, mundane, everyday words, terms, and phrases. We have become a linguistically ignorant society compared to the ones our grandparents and great-grandparents inhabited. All we have to do is look at the letters written by working-class people in the 19th century to realize that. Their letters and personal diaries are many times carefully crafted and eloquently expressed compared to the predictive text level of literacy prevalent in today's society. LOL, IDK. In tandem with this, we must also educate ourselves to become symbol literate. We're constantly being given metaphors and allegories, often blatantly, via works of advertising and other visual and oral stimulation. This can be used or has been used for both good and sinister motives. From the deeply moving sense of an emotional enchantment which passes over us when viewing the soft brushstrokes of a Monet painting in a public art gallery, to the crass corporate psychopath subliminal messages and devil worship music, which are doing tremendous damage to the human psyche as a whole, along with our spiritual and intellectual rape by propaganda and organized religion. From the earliest artists moving red ochre across granite cave wall where no natural sunlight penetrated, to the current Hollywood directors with their Sandy Hook armies of actors, movie technicians, computer-generated CGI illusions, this has all been and still remains mind control. In the past, art was used to enhance the human spirit. In terms of present-day mass entertainment, it's being utilized far too frequently by creatures to decay it. A writer, when he or she creates a word, they spell the word. When you spell a word in a sentence, you are literally doing just that. You are casting a spell. How often have we heard the phrase, the pen is mightier than the sword? How many people, organizations, and even entire countries have been destroyed based on words spelled out on a page in the form of a satire, propaganda, or manifesto? The psychopathic control grid has been putting all of us under a wicked spell, which has us believing that human beings are powerless, vile, a pollutant on the planet, and increasingly that we are becoming obsolete. and need to be removed or replaced. The violence and ruthlessness are sexy. That war is noble and kick-ass. That murderous video game is just harmless entertainment. It hasn't messed up my children, parents will say, and then they wonder why 10 years later they return home from the Middle East in coffins draped in American flags. Hollywood, news, and the mainstream media mass entertainment is pure psychopathic propaganda on a multitude of levels, as scripts of television shows and movies are handed down from on high. And he's not talking about God here. Psychopathic marketing and mind control is everywhere one looks. One of the benefits of having survived a relationship with one of these monsters that are psychopathic is that you never see the world with the same eyes again. The same psychopathic techniques which were used on you at a one-on-one level, you start to notice all around you as you awaken from this sickening spell. Are the popular series of books with titles such as A Complete Idiot's Guide to and This or That for Dummies that claim to give you knowledge concerning a certain subject really respecting your intellectual ability? Or are they subliminally destroying your sense of self-worth by declaring that you are a dummy, you are an idiot, in such a jovial and glib manner that you become dependent on such books to learn about the world due to the fact that they've trained you to believe that you're a fool, that you're a moron? Think about it. You are being deeply personally insulted when you purchase such books. And as a matter of fact, I bought at least 2 of them. The fact that these books sell in tens of millions demonstrates how entrenched this intellectual low self-esteem is among our society. How did it happen? Classic psychopathic tiptoe style, and it is great for business. What works for the psychopath parent destroying his children's self-esteem works for the marketer, advertising executive, and major media player too.
I am the Narcopath, but you can call me Strawberry Switchblade.
Look, I'm trying to be serious now. I strongly suggest that you should consider becoming a man. Once I became a woman, my life opened up, and I'm sure you were probably a man trapped in a woman's body. So, do us a favor. It is the transhuman agenda, the transgender agenda. Join us. Join us now. Think about it seriously. You won't regret it. And if you're worried about equipment, don't worry. I had the doctor save my 12-inch rod. You could have it inserted into your vagina slits, and you could wear it. It would be like we were still together. Think about that, too.
Relax. I know I told you that you were the only one I ever loved, and the only one I was going to be with forever. The truth is, I tell that to everyone. And they all buy it just like you did. And they all beg for closure afterwards, which I ain't got none to give. You're not going to get any closure from me, honey. Just thought you should know, since I'm giving you the confessions. There ain't no closure with me, honey. I might need you in the future. You never know. So I'm going to leave that door open just in case I need you. And of course I'll make up what I've been doing lately. That's the way it works. One day you'll understand. Hi, I'm Sandy Hoaxtard, filling in for Sandy Hooker. Now I know we look similar, but I assure you, I'm different. I am her sister. When I found out she was losing her job because of her loose lips, I decided I'd step in because she always thought she was better than me, and I'm here to prove otherwise. So welcome to TV5 News. I'm here to give you a few tidbits of information, but it's so hot in the studio. Oh my God. Oh. I just thought I'd give you the latest. First of all, as you know, Sandy Hook, like my sister Sandy Hooker, are both fake. Nobody died. That was a scam. Ugh. And it's so sickening to see how many people still believe it to be true. Oh my God, oh, they must be retarded. The other one, the one we covered exclusively on the scene. Well, if you took a moment to look at the videos of the recent police body cam videos, you'd see all you need to see. You'd see how the police raided an empty nightclub. No blood, no bodies, no nothing like those stupid, ridiculous, crisis actors who had to get cues from their retarded directors. Be sure to cry. This is disgusting, Christopher Hansen. These people are retarded, and they really think they're going to get away with it. That's my own opinion, which doesn't apply to the news, but this is a special episode. We can say whatever we want. Every single one of those goddamn witnesses who spoke about how, there were bodies everywhere and blood everywhere. Every single one of them has an extensive criminal record. Duh, do you know what that means? Well, that's how I got out of one of my robberies. Fact is, I robbed a store at gunpoint. I was going to be thrown to the wolves, but there was a sweet, nice policeman who gave me a second chance, and I took it. I showed him my teeth, and that's all it took. He thought my name was Madonna. That's not my fault. I ended up getting a second chance. I went to a fake shooting, put some fake blood on. I spread my thighs, and I took my shoe off and threw it across the room. And I acted like I'd been hurt by the killer. I had a fake injury, like Angel Cologne, though I didn't show off my torso without any bullet holes after just telling the police that I'd been shot 6 times. Oh, or Norman Cassiano. I got shot in my back, the bullets went right through, and look, there's no scar. I'm not that retarded. At least I would have put on some tattooed fake scars, so those people are retarded. If you see me as a crisis actor, I'm going to be believable. If I've been shot 6 times, you're going to see 6 gashes down my side, and they're going to have blood on them. You won't see any of this fake crap where, I got shot 20 times by an assault rifle, and, I'm going home the next day. No surgeries are necessary. That is retarded, and, any of you who believe that, you'll believe anything. So, I'll tell you, I'm actually a real female. I'm a female that became a male. How do you like that? And then there was that Ariana Grande concert, fake. That was retarded. I got the tweet about the fact they were having a drill, and they passed that crap off as real. This is a joke. Honey, just consider the TV news to be another form of fictional entertainment designed to program you goyim into believing a certain way, whether that means fearing the Muslim, which have nothing to do with anything, or fearing the lone wolf terrorist, which doesn't exist either. These are all fabrications of this goddamn goyim-hating media, Jew, Zionist fuck. I'm sorry. Can I please try again? Please don't fire me. No, please. Well, I'm back. I took care of him. No one's gonna yank me off this stage. This is my platform. I'm here to take over. Do not believe a word your television tells you. You're probably too full of GMOs and fluoridated water anyway. You're probably brain dead. Your third eye is probably blind and calcified. Well, mine ain't. And I'm gonna teach you if you follow me. I'll show you how to reawaken your third eye and uncalcify it. because you're going to need it. You will, believe me.